Everything I see up in my head just comes to life.
If you feel like you're in the same chapter, in the same story for quite some time now, and there's no way that you're going to get yourself out of it, it just feels like the characters that are there, everything's on repeat, and you don't see a way out, and it just seems like this big, this huge storm that's just never going to come to pass. Well, more than likely, if you're able to shift this one thing in your life and you actually start doing this one thing, you'll be able to get out of that story, get out of that chapter, and actually go into the next chapter that you've been wanting for so long. But before we get into that, if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back, guys. I appreciate you being here. My name's Charles, and I'm a version of yourself that's here to motivate and inspire you and to remind you that it is okay to be your ideal self in your ideal body, to live the ideal life that you want to live, making yesterday jealous every single day, just like the hat says, and being the best version of yourself. And now that that's being said, well, isn't it true that we all, there's been a part of our lives where we feel stuck? I know for myself, there's times where there's things that I've desired, where it felt like I wanted to go after having a better looking body and to be a better version of myself and to align with a version that was more desirable for me, of me being better, of me being more of who it is that I actually wanted to do. But it seemed back in that time that I had no idea. I didn't know the how. I didn't know how I was going to do that. And that's where the biggest mistake that I've ever made was right in that thing. I tried to figure out the how. And then what I would do is just think over and over again. And I know you guys can relate to this. I would think over and over again of how I was going to achieve that thing. And then that sort of took me away from knowing what it is that I actually wanted to accomplish, what it is that I actually desired. And I started just thinking of how is this going to be possible? And then that got me from like this place of being in joy, of like looking forward to that, of me being in a better body, being in better shape. And then the how thinking got me and made me fall into grief, into shame, into guilt. And I just felt like, honestly, I felt like a piece of shit. I thought I'd never be able to get myself out of it. I thought I was going to be that way forever. I thought there was no way I was going to ever change and I'd be stuck there forever. And then my mind would just play tricks on me because naturally, well, that was the program that I had always experienced. I never was in great shape. I never was in a better body. I didn't know the information that I needed to know in order for me to be able to be that version of myself and be an actual physical body. And I know that from what I'm saying, you could probably start to plug and play in your own life where it is that you are. And the second that things changed for me was when I was able to understand, unconsciously being competent and understanding that, hey, if I don't know how, well, then I have to focus on what. But if I want to focus on what it was, which for myself was being in my ideal body, well, then I need to focus on that what. But if I didn't know how to do it, how could I do anything about it physically? If I was going to do something physical, it was still going to lead to me still being overweight, because what did I need to do in order to be in that ideal physical body? I didn't know what I needed to do. I know what I wanted to be, but I wasn't focusing on it completely. And when I focused on being that version of myself, I just felt lost. It just felt like things were just going in a circle and I was not actually ever going to get there. But then when I was listening to the audios that I was listening to back then to reprogram my mind and to reprogram the vision I had of myself and who it is that I wanted to be in order to already see myself in that ideal physical body, and creating that highway in my brain of familiarity, for that vision in my imagination, what is going on? In my imagination, for it to be what it is that I wanted to be already. Looking at it from the lens of from there and not me getting to there. And naturally, I started to align with that vibration. I raised my frequency and I could see the vision. I could see myself putting on those clothes the size that I wanted to. I was wearing 2XL clothes back then, shirts, and I wanted to fit into larges. I didn't know what that was going to look like. I didn't know what I needed to do, but I could now feel what it felt like to go shopping and buy large shirts. And I could feel them, the way the sleeves would fit on my arms and on my muscular arms. And I could see myself going to the beach and putting sunscreen on my ideal physical body, feeling the muscles and feeling the leanness and being thin and being healthy and getting into that feeling of being proud, of being happy, of being joyful. And I got myself into that energy. I got myself into that frequency by seeing myself already there. But then when everything shifted, and this is what I mean when I say that this one thing, if you shift it, I got to action. I got to taking action. I saw it in my mind first, and then I got myself on the frequency of that vision of me already being in that ideal physical body. And then I started to act as if from the lens from there. I started to act as if I was already in that ideal physical body. I started to do everything as if I was already that person because I saw it in my mind so vividly. I could close my eyes, feel my shoulders putting sunscreen on. I could feel myself going for a run. I could feel myself doing pull-ups because I had this image that healthy people in their ideal physical bodies with muscle on their bodies, that's what they were doing. And it was very normal for them. And it became normal for me. But then what did that vision allow me to do? Well, it allowed me to take action. I got myself out of that rut. I got myself out of that place of thinking, of overthinking, of thinking it was impossible, of thinking I wasn't good enough, of thinking I was going to be this piece of shit that I saw myself as forever. And I got myself out of being in that place of lacking self-compassion, of lacking self-love. And I started to actually have compassion for myself. I started to actually give myself some empathy. I started to give myself some love. And when I was able to get that into my heart and get out of my own head and shift into my heart for that frequency to really be shifted fully, well, then the actions I was taking, the food that I was eating, the junk food, the Oreos, literally the peanut butter sandwiches, the Nutella sandwiches, whatever you want to name it, that I loved with everything, it just started to literally reek from afar, and they just didn't even look tasteful at all. And it just, I don't enjoy them now because those things don't vibrate and align with the ideal physical body and the image and the vision that I have for myself and for my body. Now, do I enjoy in them? Sometimes, yes, but they just don't have that same hold on me as they did back when I was closer to 300 pounds. And this is all play in the mind, in my own mind. And so therefore those foods no longer looked good. They didn't fill me up the way they did. And then, so that was on the nutrition part. And then I was able to shift what I was doing. I stopped overthinking. I stopped thinking I couldn't do a push-up. I stopped thinking I couldn't run. And I actually started doing one push-up, getting on my knees and removing my ego, being so detached from what I looked like, not caring what others were thinking of me because it didn't matter, because the image, the vision they were seeing in the present moment of me being overweight in the gym, sweating my balls off, turning a light gray shirt into a dark gray shirt, a blue shirt into a navy shirt, I didn't care. Because that was part of the process. That was part of the doing. The action that was needed, was required to be taken in order to bring that vision that I had in my mind into physical reality, into my physical reality, and to shift and to transform my physical body. And then nothing mattered because I already knew I had a vision for myself. I had an image of myself, and I knew that that was so possible because if someone else was able to accomplish that, I knew within, well, I can make yesterday jealous, and I can do that too. I just need to do the actions now. But I had first had to set in my mind that vision for myself. I had to set that destination. I need to set that goal. I need to set the GPS destination of where it was that I was heading. And when I was able to do that, then I trusted my mind to get me there, to bring in everything that I needed. But I needed to take action because I could have sat on the couch and nothing would have happened. So if you feel like that chapter in your life, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, guys, if you feel like that chapter of your life has been just on repeat and you don't see a way out, well, more than likely, you're not taking action. You might be thinking of the vision. You might be imagining that vision, but you're probably overthinking it. You're overthinking the action you need to take, and you're not actually then doing the actions you need to do because this universe operates on the language of action. You need to take action in order to take the intangible, the things that's unseen in your mind, that only is visible to you in your own imagination. And if you want for it to be seen into this physical reality, to be tangible, you need to take action because the thought, the way that is brought into this physical reality is through action. You operate on that frequency, on that vibration of you already being that version of yourself that you want to be and that you wanted to be for so long. And you let go of the old story, you let go of the limiting beliefs. And the reason and the way that you're able to do that is by now having this destination in your GPS and trusting and having faith and believing that everything is working for you in order to get there, because that's how it worked for me. I let go of the old story. I let go of the old characters, and I let go of that old version of myself. And I literally was okay with destroying that version because you got to pay the price. You're going to have to pay the price. And the old you, the new you is going to cost you the old you. And you have to be completely okay with that. And you got to give yourself the love. You got to give yourself the compassion to actually take those steps and to actually get into movement and get into action. Because the action is the one thing that if you're able to take on that desire, on that dream, if you take the action day in and day out and make yesterday jealous, well, then you're going to be able to have anything that you desire in this life. But you have to be able to take the action. No matter what the limiting beliefs might come up, you still move in fear because you understand that everybody's got a little fear inside of them, but they have faith and they believe, and they remove the doubt and the fear that they're not going to get there. You believe, you have faith, and you trust that your actions are getting you exactly to where it is you want to be, because you know deep down that you've already created that version of yourself, and your only time is only catching up to that version of who it is that you want to be. So guys, I'm super thankful for you being here, listening, watching this video with me right now today. Yeah, it's been a great day. I'm very thankful, making yesterday jealous, improving. I hope you're doing the same. To new people that are here, I appreciate you. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Very raw, very authentic. This is me. This is who I am, and I hope that my stories, the knowledge that I bring forth from the energetics, the spiritual, the physical, the tangible, you're able to apply in your own life and see transformation and see growth, because that's what I desire with my whole heart. And I'm very thankful for you being here, and I've said that, and I'll keep saying it many, many times again. I'm very thankful for you guys. And we're growing. 117, I think, subscribers. So make sure to subscribe to the channel down below, guys. Keep making yesterday jealous. Just like the hat says, have an awesome Wednesday. Any day you're watching, but it's Wednesday for me right now. So yeah, my friends, appreciate you being here. I feel like I'm rambling on. Time for me to end this video, and I'll see you guys on Friday. But as always, just like the hat says, because there's no sign in the back, keep making yesterday jealous.